Hello and welcome to Trumpet 101, how to assemble and oil the valves. I have a trumpet here in its case, and I will place it firmly on its back and recognize which side is the top of the case and which is the bottom of the case. You should be able to tell on your trumpet by an emblem and a smaller side. They're all a little bit different. I'm going to unlock my case and open it up, and you'll see two parts to the trumpet. There's the trumpet body and the mouthpiece. Grabbing the trumpet firmly in either hand, get a good grip on it, take the mouthpiece out and rest it inside the receiving mouthpiece hole and give it a small quarter twist. That should lock the mouthpiece in. You never want to hammer that in or twist it in, and that will get you set up to play the trumpet. Second, we're going to discuss how to oil the valves of the trumpet. You'll see that there are three valves, 1, 2, and 3, the first being near the mouthpiece and the third being near the bell end of the trumpet. I'm going to place the trumpet back in its case. To do this, take the mouthpiece off and put it in its appropriate place. You'll see in my case I have a valve oil. This is crucial to the performance of the trumpet because it is what makes the valves and pistons function. I'm going to carefully unscrew this, never over my lap. I prefer that you do it over the case for beginners. This is oil and it will stain your clothes. I've taken the cap off of my oil. I'm going to set it down next to the trumpet or on the ground so that I can now unscrew the valves. We're going to unscrew these valves one at a time. If these are placed back in the trumpet in the wrong order, the trumpet will not properly function. My trumpet here has a number 1 marked on the outside of the valve casing and a number 3 marked here. This is important because it will help you to remember which valve goes where. For new beginners, I want you to set the trumpet down in the case and begin to unscrew the valve number 1, the one closest to the mouthpiece side. You're going to unscrew it and place the trumpet down and carefully slide the valve out slowly and make sure you have a firm grip on the valve. If you drop this, the trumpet will not perform properly. I've now got a good grip. My valve is also marked with a number 1. This helps me to remember not only the valve number, but also the position of the valve. If the valve is turned crooked inside the trumpet, it will not perform. We'll cover that in a minute. I've got a firm grip on my valve with one hand. I will take the oil and I'm going to oil this silver or gray area, which is the piston of the valve. This is where it makes contact. Oil will help this to slide freely and your trumpet will perform better. I'm going to just put a few drops on the gray area around these holes in the valve and spread it around almost as though I'm drawing on the valve with the oil. You don't want to put too much. As it starts to drip, this will stain your clothing or furniture. So for beginners, I recommend that they do all of this process over their case because then your clothes won't be stained and your parents won't be mad at you. I'm going to place the oil back into the case and grab my trumpet still in the case resting to support it. I'm going to find that number 1. If yours does not have it, you're going to have to try a second method for finding the position. In my case, the number 1 will face the mouthpiece, and it should be in the case of most trumpets. I will carefully slide the valve back into the valve casing all the way down. You might have to wiggle it and drop it all the way to the bottom. You will see that once it's in there, the valve is moving, but oftentimes the valve will not be aligned. There's a mechanism in there to help it lock in place, and you'll hear that as I give the valve a quarter twist. You can hear it click. That will ensure that the valve is locked in permanently. You may have to spin the valve all the way around once to get that to lock in place, and you will again hear that click. That's how you know. I'm going to carefully screw the valve cap back down. If for some reason your valve cap is stuck, never try to remove these with pliers. You need to get your band teacher or a store professional to remove this for you. You could permanently damage the instrument. You will do these one at a time. You never want to take all 3 valves out at the same time. It's easy to confuse them and your trumpet won't work. I will then repeat those steps for the second valve in the middle and the third valve next to the bell section. This concludes oiling your trumpet and setup.